Hi. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi.
Hi, you need to turn your camera on. Hello? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, can you turn your camera on, please? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, you don't have to turn your camera on, but would you like to turn your camera on? Hello, I need to know who you are. Hello.
Hello, sir. I'm Dr. Sridevi from Coimbatore, India.
Oh, welcome, welcome. Okay, does your camera work?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you know how to turn it on?
Yeah, just wait.
Okay, okay, turn it on, please. Okay, very good. Hello.
Yes, sir. Hi.
Okay, welcome, welcome. Okay, because I like to try to introduce everybody. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll be back. Okay, we start in about 15 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll be back.
Yes, thank you.
Mm. Mm. Good morning, Nor.
Good morning, sir. Good
How
morning,
you,
sir.
how
How are
you
you doing?
doing? So,
I'm doing
so
good.
you're
I'm
at
doing
home.
great. How are you doing, sir?
You at
And yes,
home?
I'm at home. Yes,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
home.
Complete lockdown in Pakistan?
Almost yes. Only emergency cases have been taken by the by our department. So we are just running a neurosurgical emergency. Hello.
Oh, okay. This is Dr. Savati. Hi, I'm John Bennett from Miami, and this is Noor from Pakistan.
Hi. Almost yes. Only emergency cases have been taken by our department. So we are just running a neurosurgical emergency.
Hello, hello, hello. What happened to my audio? Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Can you hear me,
can-
Noor?
Yes, sir. I can hear, but there's lag. So there's some lag.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? When I say something now, you don't hear it right away?
Just a little lag.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear
I can't hear you. Okay.
you, but usually there is some repetition.
Yeah, well, isn't that funny? The broadcast begins, I use this for 24 hours, but 5 minutes before we start, boom. But you can hear me okay.
I can hear you,
Okay,
but there's a delay.
there's a
I-
delay. Okay. Well, it's funny. Let me see if I can get, I'll break.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, I can. The delay. Yes. Hi, sir.
Hello.
Hi, sir.
Hello. John, are you there?
Door. Hey, Ike, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. I can. When are we ready for the talk?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
You can't hear me now. Okay.
Yeah, I can. I can.
Hi, sir.
Can you hear that, Noor?
Yeah, I can. Just
Okay. Hey, Ike,
Very John.
can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah, yes, I can.
Okay. How you been?
Pretty good, John.
Okay. Okay, hopefully we get a diverse turnout and do what you want to do. What do you have planned, Ike?
1 second, John. 1 second. I'll call you back later. I mean, in a second. Okay.
Okay. Hopefully we get a diverse turnout and do what you want to do. What do you have planned, Ike? Good morning, Dr. Saad. Good morning, Musindo. Can you hear me, Musindo? Yes, can you hear me? Yeah. Hello, Saad.
How are you?
Good morning.
Good evening to you too.
Okay, I'll mute you, Saad, because we're gonna. Hey, Musindo, how you doing?
Yes, I am here. I am here.
The student is late. You're late today. You're usually the first one here.
No, I am working today.
You know, nowhere. He would get a star. He's always the student, the first one in the classroom.
But today
I wasn't
I'm
that good of a
working.
student. I was not the first in the classroom. I sat in the back. Okay, I'm gonna mute a few people here. I will be here in a few, just a minute, okay? I'm gonna mute you, Noor. I'm gonna mute Lucindo. I'm gonna mute Dr. Assad. Have some coffee. You don't drink coffee in Pakistan, right? You drink tea, right? Huh?
Yeah, we do. I usually have a cup of tea.
Tea, not coffee?
No, not usually.
Well, actually, I was doing a conference in Europe, Noor, and the presenter started eating. Everyone was talking, and then he takes out a sandwich. I thought he was joking, but he wasn't. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say. Okay, we'll be here in just a minute. Yeah, I hope my family uses Zoom now. It's rare, you know, I've been trying to explain what this is, et cetera, but now they discovered really quickly what it is, as has most of America.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
We usually.
I usually have to explain what it is to people. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Video, you get in the same room and you talk to each other. Now I don't have to explain it. Because even on television, they're saying Zoom, like movie stars. And when they talk about, you know, how they're surviving, they said, I use Zoom. I mean, on national TV, you know how powerful that is? To mention their brand on the worldwide television. Wow, that means it's been accepted by the masses.
That's yeah, exactly. It is. But I'm still
What's that?
there's finally they are just coming up with that. Sir, I don't agree to use this Google Hangout. I just find it very
you remember that. You see, you had to be dedicated to the Hangouts. Well, you know, the thing about it was a little difficult to learn. Zoom, I think, is easier. What do you think? Do you think it's easier, Zoom, than Hangouts?
John?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah, you ready to go?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, it's Dr. John Bennett from Miami Beach for Neurosurgical TV. Today we have another in the series of daily dose of neurosurgery education with Ip Cherian, MD of the PAL. Okay, before I turn it over to Ip, let's just quickly go through the panel. Good morning, Noor. Oh, good day, Noor. Could you please you're muted, Noor.
Answer.
Okay, can you tell us who you are and stuff? Noor. Well, Noor, come on, Noor.
Hello, sir.
Could you please introduce yourself?
Sir, I'm Dr. Nurul Damaria from Pakistan. I work as resident researcher in the Punjab Institute of Neurosciences.
Oh, okay, thank you. Dr. Devi from India, please introduce yourself. Go ahead.
I'm Dr. Hello, sir. Good morning. I'm Dr. Sridevi, working as a consultant neurosurgeon in a Royal Care Super Specialty Hospital, Coimbatore, India.
Well, welcome. Dr. Saad, could you please introduce yourself? Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Saad Javed from Pakistan. I'm a resident of neurosurgery from Rawalpindi Medical University.
Okay, welcome, Dr. Saad. Khalif, are you there?
John.
Go ahead, Khalif.
Yeah, I'm Khalif from Kenya, and I'm glad to be here.
Okay, welcome, Khalif. Musindo?
Hello, hello. Hello.
Hi, Musindo.
Yes, I'm Sindo, neurosurgery resident from Mozambique.
Okay, welcome, Musindo. Okay, it's all yours and welcome.
Okay, John, I like to show an aneurysm first, and then I'd like to go on ahead and talk about life during lockdown. Aneurysm is, oh, I think somebody.
Yeah, let me get that. Hold on.
Okay, right. So I'm going to share an aneurysm right now, and then let's go into. So. Can you see me sharing my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so for those of you who are new, this is my technique of transcavernous dissection. This is an IC aneurysm. So what I'm doing is I'm going over the cavernous sinus. Let me show it to you from the beginning. So you must know that this is the frontal lobe, and that is the temporal lobe, and that is the orbit. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a flattening of the sphenoid ridge. This way here is your clinoid process, and that is your temporal lobe. And your temporal lobe is attached to your cavernous sinus. So if I have to do an axial unlocking, which means if I have to take the temporal lobe away outside, I mean, if I have to move the temporal lobe laterally, then I need to dissect it off from the cavernous sinus. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to flatten the whole bone sphenoid ridge here. And after that, so that's the frontal lobe, that's the temporal lobe, and that's the base. So that is the temporal lobe. You can see the cavernous sinus, the superior orbital fissure continuing as a cavernous sinus here. So under very high magnification, you're doing sharp dissection here, so that the temporal lobe is slowly dissected away from the cavernous sinus. This is a very, very tricky procedure, because if you make a 1/10 of a millimeter mistake with your knife, you can get into the cavernous sinus, and that will cause bleeding, and well, it will stop with a little bit of gel foam or Flow-Seal or something. But it's a long time. It's a lot of time you waste, that's about it. So we have to be careful about cutting these strands very carefully. So you have cavernous sinus here, and you are keeping on dissecting. Only those white strands. You can see the black cavernous sinus almost taking shape here. So the temporal lobe is being slowly displaced. Now, after doing that, you can very well see the clinoid there. After you displace the temporal lobe from the frontal lobe. So that's a frontal lobe, that's a temporal lobe. I've literally opened up between the temporal lobe and the temporal lobe and the frontal lobe. I've opened the angle, so it's become very easy for me to see the clinoid. I'm dissecting further. So that is the cavernous sinus. You can see I'm dissecting further. And now I'm removing the clinoid. The lateral part of the clinoid can be drilled off very easily. You must understand that unlike few of the paraclinoids that I showed, I am not really worried about an aneurysm which is touching the clinoid process. So here I can be pretty fast with the clinoid removal. So I'm just going right into the clinoid. And once I empty it out, I'm going at the sides of the clinoid. I need to worry only about the carotid and the optic nerve. So this will be very fast clinoidectomy, unlike some of the other clinoidectomies that you've seen. So since you've seen expose the clinoid so beautifully, there's no need to worry about anything. You can already see the optic nerve taking shape there. And this last bit, I don't like drilling here because this heat can produce, the heat that you produce can sometimes, produce problems with the optic nerve. So I try to take this part out with the rhongus. So the clinoid is coming out right now. So that's a clinoid triangle. So you got a lot of space by doing that. So that's the thing. So that is your carotid. That is your anterior cerebral artery. That's your tend. That's your temporal lobe. You have the aneurysm somewhere here, below the tend. So I'm going to have a look at this aneurysm. Looks to be stuck to the tend. So putting in a clip without really seeing the aneurysm is not going to be a great idea. So here I may have to cut the tend. Going ahead and keeping on exposing the arachnoid over the aneurysm. I like to repeat my movements a lot. I don't like to hurry. So now I'm cutting that tend after bipolaring that region. Don't worry, I'm not cutting the temporal lobe. My knife is parallel to the temporal lobe. I would have preferred the diamond knife, but sometimes the diamond knife doesn't do the job. So anyway, I'm putting a small patty to protect the temporal lobe there. And I'm cutting the tend just parallel to the aneurysm. This can be very, very dangerous maneuver. So slowly cutting off the tend around the aneurysm so that you bipolar it again. And then you cut again. And under high magnification, now you can see almost the aneurysm taking shape there. You're displacing the arachnoid there. This patient present with a third nerve palsy, so you can see why. The third nerve is right there. The third nerve is right there. Patient present with a third nerve palsy, complete third nerve palsy. She's improving now. So now I'm uncovering this aneurysm. You can see the PCOM line there. And you can see the aneurysm clearly. It's a ruptured aneurysm again, it's not an unruptured aneurysm. So you got to be careful. You want to only expose the neck, not the dome. And going ahead and cutting the arachnoid further and further so that you get a very good space for your clips. Well, sometimes you cannot, and then, so I'm showing my residents where I'm going to clip this aneurysm, how I'm going to go with my clips. So that looks good because there's space here, there's space on this side, and the PCOM I know is going that way. So I'm going to be not going to be taking the PCOM, and anterior choroidal is not stuck here. So now I dissect the aneurysm so that I kind of get some more space for the clip. Don't hurry. By the way, aneurysm surgeons are not that type of guys who say, okay, come on, let's go and, let's do it. Not that kind of guys. Huh? Aneurysm surgeons are, the type of guys who sit around without saying anything, laid back. Infinite patience. Huh? Sometimes you can lose it, but still, lessons you learn in your life. So see the patients, you keeping on dissecting the neck. Very gentle movements there. And now, before you know, the aneurysm is slowly showing her neck to you. And go ahead and Arbin. Now you're going ahead and slowly putting that clip there, making sure that the PCOM, you can see the PCOM there. That's the PCOM. So the PCOM is away from the clip, and then you have put this clip on this aneurysm. So you can clearly see that that's the ICG picture. Thank you very much. I'm stopping to share. All right.
Okay, I thank you very much. Okay, how would you? Yeah, how would you like to structure it? Like, do you want to talk about the aneurysm first, or go into the corona, whatever?
Well, it's not about the corona that I am going to talk about.
Okay.
Unexpectedly, in my last 12, 13 years as a neurosurgeon, I'm suddenly getting a lot of time. Okay. I'm sure all our colleagues have the same problem or the same bliss. I'll consider it as a bliss actually, because the first 1 week it was difficult because We were not accustomed to sitting around somewhere watching some movies and then, go have food and then coming back and watching movies again. It's not easy because it was quite, it was quite different from what our routine was. But on the other hand, uh, I started reading some books, I started exercising, I started practicing skills again. So, well, I started to do a lot of things which I had stopped in between. So, in times of Corona, I think we're always worried about staying at home, and it's apparently the joke is that Osama bin Laden was staying with his 3 wives in the compound, and he never got out for 5 years. And it is now believed that he called the Navy SEALs himself, apparently. So, that kind of thing, you can be stuck with your family in the lockdown, and it's not very pleasant. You see, I mean, you're seeing them all the time, and everybody, all my guys, friends, saying, "What the hell? I mean, what's going on? I mean, we don't get to go out at all, and you just stuck." So you can look at it in that way, or you can look at it as an opportunity which is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I really hope we don't have pandemics every month, but this is once in a lifetime opportunity where you can actually sit down and relax. You don't have to get up exactly at you don't have to be ready by 9. You don't have to go take your rounds. You don't have a daily schedule. You really don't have many emails to answer to. So it is actually not a bad thing. I'm coming to love this. In fact, when daily work resumes, I'm afraid that I may not be, out of this coronavirus lull that I've had. I mean, I'm starting to enjoy it actually. I just wanted to say one thing to the young neurosurgeons listening to me. This is from one of my very favorite authors, Richard Bach. There is this book called Hypnotizing Maria. Okay, so in that, there's this man who goes to a New York magic show, where there's this magician called Blacksmith. He's a hypnotist. So this man is performing his tricks. So this man goes there. He wants to debunk this theory of hypnotism. Like all of us, most of us don't believe in hypnotism. I don't too. I mean, if somebody told me they'll hypnotize me, I'd rather, scoff, at least in my mind. What Jamie also thought, this man also thought that nobody's going to be able to hypnotize him. So he goes to this show. The magician's name is Blacksmith with a Y and THE. So this blacksmith tries to call a few volunteers. So Jamie goes up, and Blacksmith says to these volunteers that I'm going to hypnotize you, and you're going to sleep on the stage standing. And when his turn, when Jamie was asked for these hypnotizing words and all, he resisted. He tried to resist. And what happened? At the end of the day, Blacksmith couldn't hypnotize him. I mean, so what happened was Blacksmith did this, and then he went and pushed everybody. He said, although they are sleeping, nobody will fall. But Jamie, what he did is he fell down. So he said to Blacksmith that I'm sorry, you cannot hypnotize me. So Blacksmith told all the other volunteers to go away, and Jamie was alone on the stage. And then he said to Jamie, okay, listen, you're going to walk down with me to this room. So Jamie counted 52 steps at the end of the stage, and he was impressed that Blacksmith constructed something like this. So they went down to the room. There was a small metal door. So the blacksmith opened the door and he asked Jamie, okay, get in now. Tell me what you see. So Jamie went in and he said, it's a small 6x6 room made out of stone. So blacksmith said, listen, I'm going to just close the door. He closed the door. And you know what happened? As soon as the door was closed, all Jamie saw was just the wall around, stone walls around. He went to the place of the door and he couldn't find the door. So he understood that this was a trap. So blacksmith said, you tried to humiliate me. This is your punishment. And Jamie started throwing himself against the place where he thought was the door. And he hurt himself. He started punching, he started kicking, he started doing everything, trying to get out of that room. He could not. So he said, I'm done. This magician has literally, I'm done for. And he started crying out and completely believing that nobody could hear him. 5 minutes later, he heard blacksmith's voice. He said, okay, I think your punishment is enough. I think I'm going to get you out of that room. So Jamie told, I'm going to tell everybody what you did to me. It's not fair. So blacksmith just laughed. He said, just come out of the walls. So it was this guy's turn to laugh. He said, how can I come out of the walls? Blacksmith said, listen to me. I'm going to put my hand inside through the wall. Jamie laughed again. So he put his hand inside through the wall. Jamie could see the wall, the hand coming inside. He caught the hand and just walked through the wall out. And when he got out, blacksmith told him, there were no walls. It was in your mind. I just hypnotized you. The walls were in your mind. You were screaming, jumping, doing everything on this screen, on this stage, in front of thousands of people. You were inside a room, and the room was inside your mind. You see, what that shows is you make a lot of walls in your mind, and you lock yourself inside those walls. You see, the walls could be religion, the walls could be color, it could be relationships, it could be certain things in neurosurgery that you think cannot change, your teachings. It could be anything. The point is, unless you try to walk out of these walls, you test these walls, not believing that these walls cannot be penetrated. If you believe that these walls cannot be penetrated, then you won't try. If you open your mind, this is what is called opening your mind. If you open your mind, there are so many possibilities. And I remember when I started cystonostomy, even though the brain was lax, I wouldn't put the bone flap back because I thought that is the way to do it. You cannot get past it. It's our teaching. People who hasn't seen aneurysms, they think it's for somebody else. It's not for me. These are all walls. People in the third world or the so-called third world must understand that the third world is in your mind. It is your mind which is the third world. The moment you get out of that notion that you are in a third world, you're no more in a third world. You might find shit around you, you might find garbage around you, but your mind is not third world. You can do any kind of research from anywhere. We've done it from Nepal. So I'm sure you can do it from anywhere. So this is what I would like you to go ahead. When 13 years before I came to Nepal, and for my first 5-6 years of my work, we were doing very good work, but we were doing it with the most basic amenities. So I started dreaming that we have a facility which is the best in the world, and today we have it. Today we have interoperative 3 Tesla, we have the OARM, we have navigation, we have the best microscopes, we have the best endoscopes. We have everything we need for being one of the best centers in the world. Who could imagine doing that in the middle of nowhere in Nepal? We did it because I made sure my mind is not limited by these walls. But sometimes, yes, I am limited by these walls, and I try to break these walls. And I'm sure all of you can do the same thing. If you threw out these stereotypes about, looks, about different layers of communities, or you think, okay, this guy's from this place and I can't trust him. What stupidity. This guy is from this religion, I can't trust him. This guy is from this background, I can't trust him. Or it's not good to be talking to him. It's nonsense, you see. It's complete nonsense. Over the last 10,000 years, society has put a lot of wrongs into your mind and you think that's the right. And by the early age of maybe 6 or 7, you have lost listening to your heart. That's what during this lockdown, I want you to learn. It's not easy to listen to your heart, but at least learn to listen to your heart. All right? And think what you're doing. Are you just existing or are you living life? Don't exist. Live a life and, master neurosurgery, not because you're going to get some money out of it. Master neurosurgery because you should have the passion and the patience and, the kick when you do something. The moment you lose it, stop neurosurgery. I'm sure all of you are brilliant. You could do very well in all fields. Okay? Thank you very much. That is my message for you today. Thank you.
No, I'm sorry, Nor. Okay, thank you very much. Let's have the guests comment on what I've said, or if there's something you want to say from your part of the neurosurgery world. The floor is open. Come on, someone step up.
Go ahead, Chris. You guys, go ahead.
Hi, brother. How are you?
Hey, go ahead. Good morning.
Good morning.
Go ahead.
Here
Good to see
is
you, brother.
it's night. Yeah, I've supported me for so many years, and from every aspect, and he's my best brother, and I love him so much. Yeah, this for the past about 2 months for about the coronavirus. Here, the community and everything's locked down, stopped. So we have time to stop and thinking, and not to hurry to do like the surgery, to earn the money, everything. So we just stopped and think about a lot of things, the life, the purpose of working in life, stay at home with family. And recently, I'm reading the book, the Henry Marsh, the book, Mission. I recommend to reading that book, and he described the life after he retired. He worked in Nepal for a while. Worked in Kathmandu, and it remind me the life in Nepal. I went there with stay with Ibe for several times, and I like the life in Nepal is peaceful, and the people. I like the people and the life there, and because I think the people in Nepal, they are it's very like in the Chinese people. They treat to their families, the patients. I think I feel that very like the same here.
Goi is a very dear friend of mine. We've known each other for maybe more than 10 years. My first lecture on cystonostomy was in his department. So you can imagine. He and his wife and his son has been so close to our family, and they've come. We've met several times, and he's advised me. Professor Goi is one of the most, one of the most gifted young talents from China, and I'm sure you'll hear a lot more about him, and I'm sure he will be one of the strongest neurosurgeons to come out of that country in the world, in the global neurosurgery. So thank you, brother. And anybody, as John asked, anybody wants to share anything during this time? Chris from South Africa.
Yeah, we haven't heard from Chris. We'd like to
Hi
meet him.
guys. Hi guys, how are you?
Hi,
Hey,
Chris. Is your camera working?
Yeah,
Yeah,
one
let's
sec.
put the camera on so we can see you. How you doing?
Good, good. I'm relaxing at home as well.
Could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Chris. I'm a neurosurgeon from Johannesburg.
Welcome.
Welcome. Basically, I think it's a whirlwind of emotions and feelings. So on one side, as you said, this thing was in the background. It was just a story. COVID's happening there. COVID's happening here. But, you know, I wasn't interested. There was an aneurysm to do or a skull-based tumor or something tricky that was going to challenge. And then you hyper-focus on that. But then week by week, it starts becoming more and more of a reality. You hear more about it. Then people around you getting concerned. How do we adapt? And then before you know it, you've almost stopped what you're doing to the bare emergencies. And then for the first few days, you don't know what to do yourself. You're like bouncing off walls. You just want to operate. You just want to go. And then when it starts hitting, so I actually did my internship in London, and my first medical consultant actually died. There was a story on him in BBC 3 days ago. And I think that shocked me because he was a really nice guy, really dedicated man. And it's the first victim that, you know, I actually had a direct connection with. And then, like, you know, I think we're all in a state where there's a lot more questions than answers. But I think it's an opportunity to actually improve the world. So I think a lot of questions need to be asked during and after this disaster. What have we done as a collective, as human beings, as neurosurgery, as countries, societies, to actually protect each other, to protect the poor, to protect the guys that don't have. Why is all the systems framed around people that have? Why is basically a decision to shut down a country based on purely on economics, and that's based on sort of, you know, guys with big business interests? So I think there's a lot of questions and come out of here, and it's a whirlwind of ideas. And I personally think I'm going to need another month to actually reorganize all the ideas that are coming in and out of my mind. I've been pretty active here trying to sort of organize a state with geo location software to try and trace COVID patients and quite a few other initiatives. But I think at the core of it is we're not prepared, and we're actually not looking at what problems in life are the important ones. You know, everyone's just focused on profit or what the next idea will be or what's going to be sensational. And I think we've lost touch with like the basics, that we need to look after each other as human beings. And I think those are my thoughts. A lot more, but that's at least what I can express for now.
Thank you.
That is the core of it. Anybody else?
Everybody's quiet today.
So how's the status of the India, brother?
Well, I'm not very updated with what's happening in India right now because the internet has been down a bit. So, but I think the cases have gone about 3,000. But the mortality is not as bad as the West, because some say it's the BCG vaccine or something. But I think countries like India and Nepal has got other problems. So, you know, God doesn't give every problem at one time. Whoever it is, I mean, if there is a God, I'm sure, you know, I'm not saying that the other countries in West don't have any problems, but, you know, Nepal and India, I'm sure, poverty kills much more people every day than the virus. So, and it is a true fact. It is, in all these 3 weeks, whatever the virus has killed, the statistics show that hunger alone kills more people in a day in India, more than what it has killed in India for the last 3 weeks. So, since they've got other problems, I don't think the virus is going to really create, I mean, it's going to cause a lot of infections, but it's not going to cause mortality, is what I think. But on the other hand, I've seen videos of literally earth healing, because in Delhi, flowers are blooming, it's blue sky, wild animals are roaming around. In Noida, we saw a giant gaur, which is the largest ungulate in the world, civet cats going around, which we've never seen for many years. And, you know, birds, many birds, and this is happening. So maybe it's you know, you just cannot really judge anything. You really don't have to hate this coronavirus. It has brought everybody together, you know. 2 days before, I was seeing news that all these small petty fights of countries and religions and societies, everything's gone in the background. People suddenly understood that, you know, these are all opinions, and these countries, they're just lines drawn on the earth. I mean, who drew them? Nobody even knows. And you fighting for those lines, you see. And skin color, you know, who we worship, what is your opinion? You know, we're being fools actually to fight on those kind of fronts, you know. So that is what this virus has taught us. So I'm sure the world would be a better place once this virus problem is sorted out. I'm sure a lot of people would understand that. And it's not one religion or another religion that has come out with a solution for it. No politician has come out with a solution for it. So I think people are understanding facts, and the world would be a better place after this is done. I hope.
Yeah, the Chinese government now locked down the border, and didn't allow foreigners to come into China mainland recently, and to protect the Chinese people here, because now the patient here is almost at zero for a very long time. And today, the Beijing has an input cases, a Chinese student in America, and come back to China during the quarantine, the 2 weeks quarantine time. She was diagnosed the COVID-19, and this is the only case in recent time. But everybody here wear the face masks, and the community still need people to show ID when in and out the community. And but the life here almost get back normal. The people, the malls and the restaurants are reopened, and the people went out for fun. I just sent you the videos. It's in the suburb of Beijing. So and the hospital is back to normal, and we operate not only on the emergent case, but also the elective cases. But still, the Beijing is the the capital of the China. So they have strict, very strict. So the patients from outside Beijing need to quarantine 2 weeks before admission in the hospital.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, John. So Goi, Chris, and rest of the guys, I think I'm in the hospital right now. I think I'll go back home. Here we still don't know how many people are diagnosed positive because we're not testing much. So we really don't know what's happening here. I'm sure it'll be all right. So I'd see you tomorrow. And tomorrow probably, I mean, if you contact Juha wants to do some cases. I mean, he was talking about brainstem cavernomas or something. And Vladimir also wants to do it. So you can coordinate with Vladimir and Juha. And also there are a few, Imad told me that he also might do some cases. Atul Goyal, Professor Goyal also said he would be able to do some cases. So I'm putting you on to all these guys, John, so that you can have some cases from them. And in between, I'll be showing some videos and stuff as usual.
Okay,
So,
very good.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Very good. Okay, thank you everybody for coming. Let me just say, yeah, things in Miami are getting locked down. But when you look at the countries that like Vietnam and Germany, they have really good numbers. They locked down their schools early in February in Vietnam, and they have a very low rate. And they're close to China. So when you examine the countries that, like Germany too, they locked down their schools early. But I think the U.S. was a little late. You know, here in Miami, it hasn't really hit, but we think it will because it was not a lockdown of the schools. And they were relatively slow in preventative measures like other countries did. So we'll see. but it doesn't look good.
Stay safe, John.
Okay, very good. Thanks everybody for coming, and we'll end this formally.
See
Okay,
you.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you. Bye.
Okay, yeah, we just stopped recording, but we're still on YouTube. So, yeah, Christos, thanks for coming from South Africa. And Dr. Goria, I didn't realize you knew Ike so long. Long time. Where were you at? What hospital were you at when I presented his first case of cysternostomy or presented his original paper? Where was that?
It's the city near Beijing. It's in Baoding city. It's about 120 kilometers away, about 1 hour and 30 minutes drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where I presented the cysternostomy paper in China.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
About 10 years ago.
Oh, cool.
Mhm.
Very
That's
good.
a very long time.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you guys for coming. Yeah, Christos and Dr. Dory, I've been starting to get on WeChat more.
Okay.
Yeah, I was kind of off it for a while, but it's very active forum. You do everything WeChat, right?
Yeah. WeChat is live here.
Yeah. I'm seeing that. Very, very powerful. I hear a little boop when I get a message from that. Boop, 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 boop. It's really convenient for me, you know.
And we use WeChat for like the pay.
Pay bills, right?
Yeah, pay bills. It's, now I seldom use cash.
Really?
Yeah, so
Even like when you go to the grocery store, you just WeChat.
Yes, everywhere. Just
Do you flash your phone or like you show? What do you do? Do you have to type in something or you just flash the phone?
It's a how to say that, the QR code, like this.
Oh, okay.
I cannot see.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's your personal ID.
Right.
Oh, okay. For anything you want to buy.
Right. There's just scan the code and just pay the money. And
in restaurants too.
Yeah. Everyone here seldom use cash and
really?
Like credit card. We just use the WeChat and another mobile chat pay bills.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very convenient.
Yeah, I think yeah, we're a little behind there. So because I've never seen anyone use that in a store here. I never. But I'm sure that seems to be the way to go. The way it's convenient, and it sounds like it'll be here too. But I just went to the store, cash everything. So, but it will change. But it's good news to hear things are getting better. You know, in Italy too. Not a lot, but they feel that they're on the downward. Yeah, they and you know what? It's surprising. They're using chloroquine for all the patients. They just, I guess they think, well, why not? You know, it doesn't cause really bad effects. So, but they're using it. The doctors are prescribing it in the hospitals. So it's not just occasional, but I guess until they
one more month, maybe it's okay. Everything will be fine.
Yeah, I think yeah, especially with if this antibiotic works, well, it not works, but I mean, if they see that, hey, we are getting good results from this, because Marco, I don't know if he comes to these webcasts. He's right from the middle of Italy, Bergamo, right near there, and he treats patients, corona now, and he says they routinely prescribe it. So. But
But this virus is horrible. I read news today. The New York City, about more than it's about 305 patients died
yeah,
in one day.
well,
So,
you know, that they think it's going to get worse. They think it's going to get worse. And like I said about the preventative measures, I think we're a little slow in containing people from New York, because a lot came to Florida, and that's, you know, it's going to crop up here too. We had a big like called spring break, was where the kids go to the beach in March, just last month here, and there were no restrictions on crowds, you know, and those are people from New York, so they probably brought a lot down. So yeah, that's where I guess Vietnam was successful. They almost in February they closed their schools down, which seemed to be a big step. Schools and public gatherings were stopped in Vietnam, and they have a very low rate of corona. We didn't. The United States didn't do that, because these politicians. I mean, this is new. You know, this who can fault them? You know, this has never happened before, and to shut down an economy is a serious step for a politician to do. So they were kind of slow, but it turns out now, retrospectively, they should have listened to the doctors more and less to the economists. Anyways, in this country, I think, but we'll see. Well, okay. You have a great day. Are you working today, or you have today off?
Here it's night. It's
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Did you work today? Did you work today?
No. Today is Saturday.
Today's the normal holiday, right?
Right. It's Sunday. Today is Sunday.
Well, you know, in Nepal, you spent a lot of time in Nepal. You spent some time. You spent some time in Nepal.
Nepal, yes. I went there for about 4 times, maybe. The longest one is I stayed there for 10 days.
Oh, okay. I was there for 3 months.
Okay.
3 months when I first met Ipe, about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
The thing, I didn't like the internet connections.
The first time I met you is in Ipe's office, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah. That was the first time. Yeah, that was great meeting all those people. That was Dr. Cato was there. Was that the? Yeah, she was there, right?
Yes.
At that conference.
Yes. Right.
Yeah, and that was good. That was a good time to meet everybody. I was very frustrated because the internet, as you know, there. I don't know if you knew that, but when you stay there a lot, they have electric will shut off.
Right.
It was difficult for me because I kind of need consistent, because I work a lot on the internet. So I had to get to a place with reliable 24-hour day internet. So this is a good place for it. It would drive me crazy if I didn't have the internet. This doesn't bother me much because I'm at the computer anyways, you know.
Right.
So, and a lot more, my family, they know what Zoom is now. Before they didn't know.
Okay.
My family's typical American. They only do it if they have to. And most of the American public knows what Zoom is now. They didn't know what it was before.
Okay.
So many people now, I don't have to explain what a video platform is. They have heard of it already. So it makes it a little bit easier. We had a problem today. I think we would have had a lot more people, but something happened with Zoom. You needed the password. Did you need a password to get in today? Oh, you did, right? Yeah, that was unusual. I don't know why that happened. I think a lot of people got that same thing, and just said the heck with it.
Right, because this has not happened before.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I should have realized something was unusual because the link they gave me was really long, and I should have realized, wait, something is different here. So then I heard from you. I heard from another person, but I think a lot of people just didn't want to, try to get the password. So
have you used the Tencent meeting the software before? It's a similar one with Zoom. It's a Chinese company. It just got the contract of the UN online meeting. It's a UN 75th anniversary. It should be more than 1,000 online meeting. They will use Tencent companies this meeting system.
Is Zoom popular in China?
No, no, it's not very popular, but some companies use it.
There are other companies that have a similar type of.
Right.
Yeah. It seems to work pretty good with low bandwidth if you don't have power. I think it works pretty good. I haven't really tried the other ones. GoToMeeting. I don't know if you've ever done that. And Zoom just is convenient for me, and it works, and it works in China, which is a very, very, very positive thing for us. That it works everywhere. So, and I don't think there'll be a better one if these guys stay on top of it and keep improving. Google used to have a good one called Google Hangouts. I don't know. You probably did some of those.
We cannot use Google.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The neurosurgical neurosurgical.tv. This is a website. I cannot connect it without VPN.
Yeah, it's a website. That's where I put the broadcasts like today. Let me show you here. I'll share the screen. Like right now we're on the front page of Neurosurgical TV, just talking now. I'll show you.
Neurosurgical TV, the website, I cannot connect it in China mainland without VPN.
You can't access it?
Yeah, I need a VPN to
oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, here, you can probably see it on my screen, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, there we go. There we are talking. It's a 15-second delay.
Okay.
But it's that's where it's on there. So and we put the code. I put the code. I'll show you where I put the code at. Do you know coding at all?
What is coding?
Coding, like computer coding. The computer.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I see.
You see, that's where I put the coding. Okay, right here for the program. Okay, and so therefore we get the live screen. Well, it's 15-second delay. And so in a way, you have to use a VPN. You'd be able to see the share. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I see.
Well, you know what's being used a lot now, because now of this Corona, people are kind of want more video because they're at home. With Facebook is really working at their Facebook, but I know you can't use Facebook, right?
Right.
They're really working hard on their video platforms. They have what's called Facebook Live, which anyone can do a webcast. I could start one really easy from the smartphone, a webcast on Facebook. But it's more like it's you to your audience. There's no interaction. you can interact by texting. Like if I can start one right now. I'm going to start one right now on Facebook. It's easy. Let's see. Let me go to Facebook. I'll show you how easy it is. I go into Facebook. And actually, I'm trying to encourage people. Okay, I'm going to Facebook here. Okay. Okay. What I want to get people at conferences to do is to, and I'm going to show you this. Okay, yeah, I'm starting a video with the phone here. Right now we're live on Facebook. I'm live on Facebook, my face. Okay, I'm going to show you that on this. Now, you'll be able to see it now because we're going to be in tricky. Let's see, I'm going to share the screen. And I'm going to share Facebook screen, which will be able to see. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't access. Yeah, you can't access it directly, but I can kind of show it to you. Okay, I'm gonna. Where is Facebook? Where is Facebook? Oh, there it is. So I'm sharing. That's live on Facebook. It's like Facebook.
This is today's, right?
Yeah, can you see it? Okay.
Yes, it's okay.
That's me on Facebook.
Okay, it's another camera, right?
Yeah, it's a smartphone camera.
Okay.
So I'm doing the webcast on Facebook as well as you. But what I'm trying to get to do is when we start like a webcast, is to have everyone get on their smartphone and say, hey, please tell all your followers, we're broadcasting this. And it goes to all your, like right now, people are answering me. But it goes on Facebook, it goes to all your followers. This, like right now, it's going to all my followers. They get a little notice that says John Bennett is live. And a lot of people will just jump in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I see.
But I don't know. But for this platform we're doing, Facebook really helps promote and helps me to tell people in the neurosurgery world that we're on and what we're doing. But I'm sure China has other ways, social media. They really have good video platforms, I think, in China. Don't a lot of people make videos all the time and they're really good at it?
We have several video share platforms.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes.
I don't know much of any of the platforms and etc. Because some of the, maybe you have the same problem with English or maybe Chinese people, but some of the platforms I try to use in Chinese, it's, I don't understand. And it's not easy to find in English to explain, how to use it. It was horrible. I had some Chinese platforms I didn't know what to do.
Right. The same.
So yeah, I didn't know how to say, but probably a button that says for English translation, but it's written in Chinese. So I didn't understand it. But yeah, my family now, they never knew what Zoom was. They never knew what even I was doing. They don't know. What do you really do? What do you really do? I said, educational video. They didn't, but now they understand.
Yes. It needs some time.
Yeah, the learning curve, and people you don't know how to mute and unmute, and we have problems with the sound, and I have problems with Zoom like today. Password, so it hasn't got to really to the level of being really reliable, and plus people are learning to use it. The people I see starting now, I can see it's like a surgeon, you know, when you're young. And when you're young, you know, you're starting, you make mistakes because you're getting to know the equipment and everything else. But as time goes on, you get better. So I see a lot of people doing the Zoom that really screw it up more than me.
Right. But in recent 2 months, the COVID-19, everyone stayed at home, and so some Chinese companies to do the same thing, the educational online as you did now. And they organized some online broadcasting live show for the doctors, not only neurosurgeons here.
Oh, really?
And
So
yes,
they started some programs. Yeah, I'm basically doing the same thing. Let me show you real quick because I'm basically trying to take advantage of this time, if you will, with the website. I'm kind of repositioned it because of what has happened. Now, this website, internetmedicine.com, connecting medical communities with Zoom, because not only neurosurgery, but all these specialties, anesthesiology, etc. I did some with some Stanford anesthesiologists. Rick. That was quite a topic. Lethal injections. But you know, you can do the same thing with any of the niches and neuro. So China's doing that, huh? What, do you know the name of that company?
Like medicine, several companies I attended several times.
Are they good?
Yes, I do some. I did some broadcasting in Chinese.
Oh, okay.
And almost every day they have several broadcastings from different companies. They invite some doctors.
Well, listen. We can broadcast those on internet, on neurosurgical TV.
Yes, yes.
But what I do is basically go to it and copy the screen. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yes.
if you were giving a lecture now, I would just basically put you on the screen and copy it. So if you think you have any good Chinese neurosurgery stuff and you want to put it on, so you know, on the internet, just let me know and I'll just go there and put it on neurosurgical TV.
Mm-hmm. I see.
If it's a good Chinese one that you would like, and it would go, you know, and I would be able to put it on YouTube too.
Mm-hmm.
That lecture, I could put it on neurosurgical TV and I could put it on YouTube.
Yeah, I see.
So,
But the problem is the most people here cannot connect to YouTube, but Facebook.
no, they don't have to use YouTube.
Yes,
I just copy it from the screen and I put it on YouTube. They don't.
Yeah,
They
I
have
see.
nothing to do with YouTube.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So,
Yes.
so it's essentially the conference can be put on YouTube. It's kind of a backdoor way of doing it, but it can be done.
Yes. What I mean is because the people here, they cannot connect to YouTube and Facebook, so most of the audience they cannot see from the like.
Yeah, I realize that. But there are
Right,
some
that's-
people that use VPN for YouTube, and there are some Chinese people outside of China.
Right.
In fact,
Right.
and there's a lot of neurosurgeons in America from China, and you know, they're all over the world, Chinese neurosurgeons.
Right.
So I think you can get them to look at it that way. But yeah, it can be done, and that's where actually I think eventually I'll be a distributor of neurosurgical and basically other people make the shows. Do you know what I mean? And I basically say, okay, we'll put that on neurosurgical TV. Okay, we'll broadcast your conference on neurosurgical, and we just put it there. We just put it there because I like to have 24 hours a day. Neurosurgery. They do it for crime TV in America, and dogs they have 24 hours a day. Why not medicine?
Why you did neurosurgery? Because you're not a neurosurgeon before, right?
No, because I meet people like Ike that like it, that think it's useful, and that they're dynamic. Ike's a dynamic guy. You know, he's charged. You know, like he's full of energy. Let's do it. Let's try it. And that's good to be associated with someone like that in what I'm doing, because you know, let's do it. Okay, let's get us conference. It's not like, oh, let's submit it to the committee. Maybe in 2 months we'll know. It's like, boom, let's do it. And that's good. If I had met a cardiologist like I would have done cardiology. I would have went that way. Really, I would have went that way. But I just, you know, because I think with what I'm doing, you kind of need a dynamic guy that's in the middle of his specialty, because I think there are other people that are passionate about their professions in cardiology, dermatology, general. They're there. And occasionally, like there's an ENT neurosurgeon from India, Naran. Do you know Naran? He's all over the internet. Let me show you who he is, and he is very good in his specialty. I'll show you some of his shows that we've done. Yeah, let me just, and I do the same with him. I just capture his screen. Let me, okay. I gave him a channel on this. I gave him like a studio, right? Because he's really active. So I put his shows on that. He has a show called Coffee with Janky. Okay. And he's a really good educator in the ENT community. And I don't do a webcast with him. I just basically capture his show, his broadcast on neurosurgical TV. I capture it basically, like, and he doesn't even, I don't interact with him. He's just lecturing now to his Facebook people, and I'm just capturing it and showing him speaking and showing him texting to his followers. But he's another guy like Hype. He's very dynamic. He likes a video, and he thinks it has a purpose for ENT. So
that's great.
It's fun. To me, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
So it's fun, and it's so strange what has happened. I had no idea when I got into this. I had no idea that it would be useful for regular people beside medical people. But yeah, all kinds of schools are doing it now in America, using Zoom. A lot of schools are using Zoom. It's a Taiwan-based company. I think they're doing very well, very, very well. So you go during your time that you were like more or less locked down. Did you see a lot of broadcasts? Did you watch a lot of broadcasts on the social media, Chinese social media?
Yes, I saw some, and I broadcast by myself for several times because some invited me to do that.
Oh, good. So you did some presentation.
Yes, I have done some presentations.
Okay, well, do me a favor if you want. The next time you give a presentation, or you want to give, you want to broadcast a good one? Tell me about it, and I'll just say, okay, and I'll just go to it and capture it if you want. I don't want to cause any problem.
And I'm preparing a presentation and for the daily dose.
Oh,
And,
okay.
when I'm ready, and I will let you know.
Okay. Okay, we also do grand rounds every Saturday. We didn't do it this week, but I don't know if you want to do it this Saturday in Chinese.
Mhm. Okay.
Just let me know if you want to. If you don't, that's fine. You've already done one.
Okay.
So okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, have a great day. And anytime you want to chat or anything you want to try experiment, just let me know.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, John.
Okay, have a good one. Bye-bye.